Love and Faith ASMR. This video is going to be mostly whispered. I might occasionally do some soft spoken, like I'm doing now, where technically my voice is on, and I'm not completely whispering, but for the most part, I will probably be whispering, especially as we get towards the end of the video. So, I'm going to do video number 2 in this series, AITA, where I read and give my personal opinion on the content shared in that post. As a reminder, I am not a therapist, a counselor. I don't have an education in psychiatry or, any kind of mental illness. So this is just me sharing my thoughts, and just a reminder, I don't know anything. So, alright, hopefully you'll find this relaxing, and let's get started. Okay. AITA for leaving my girlfriend after she caught a dog. Oh, I forgot to say that I have not read this yet, so I've glanced over it to make sure there's nothing obviously disturbing in here, but yeah, so I have not pre-screened these. Okay. AITA for leaving my girlfriend after she caught a dog. There is an update. Hopefully I'll remember to go back and click on that. Okay. Hello, I'm 25 male and my girlfriend is 23 female. We've been together for over a year and we generally have a great relationship. She's funny and kind. However, yesterday when I got home there was a golden retriever in her house. When I asked my girlfriend whose dog it was, she smiled and said ours. I wasn't sure if she was joking or being serious, so I kept asking whose dog it was. She kept smiling and saying ours, and then proceeded to say the dog's name. I don't really remember what she said her name was. Really? You don't remember? She hasn't said it since. She even told the dog to say hi, Dad. I told her that she couldn't be serious right now, and she replied why with a big smile. I didn't say anything else and just left the house and went to a hotel at the beginning of our relationship. Oh, okay. I was about to say, well, that's not good, but it's not that bad. But no, see, this is context is everything. Okay, at the beginning of the relationship, I had told her that I don't like dogs and can't be in the same room with one. Oh. Even when I see one in public, I put a good distance between me and the person walking the dog. Why would she do that then if she knew he was afraid of dogs? I told her if she ever wanted a pet, she would have to get a cat or something else that is not a dog. While at the hotel, my girlfriend called me a couple of times, but I didn't answer. Then she texted me saying I was overreacting and that my fear of dogs is ridiculous. She said I should at least give it a try and live with the dog for a while, and that she and the dog would help me overcome my fear, but I never asked to overcome it, and honestly, it never bothered me as long as there were no dogs in my house. I never got bothered by one in public because I've always put a distance between me and dogs. I've never even petted a dog before. Oh wow. And never will. I ignored her messages and just went to sleep as I wanted to decide what to do when my head was clearer. Okay, that's pretty wise. I don't want to be the guy who says it's either me or the dog. Cliche, right? She clearly likes dogs and I don't, so I was thinking of just breaking up with her even though she's been amazing throughout the year. Has she been amazing throughout the year though? Because to knowingly blindside your boyfriend or girlfriend, partner, or whatever, they're living together, right? So your serious relationship, your partner, to blindside them by bringing home a dog that you know they have a significant fear of, to have never pet a dog before in your life. You have to have a very serious, severe fear of dogs to so she knew that. So she didn't respect that. And it sounds like he made it pretty clear how serious that his fear was. It's not like he casually said, yeah, I don't really like dogs, they make me uncomfortable, or yeah, I get a little nervous around dogs, I'm not so sure about them. He was like, I never want a dog, I'm afraid of them, I've never pet one before, and if you ever want a dog, a pet, it's going to have to be a cat and not a dog. And then for her to do what she did and then like pretend like nothing was wrong. Like all those big smiles, at least that's how he's perceiving it to be, right? Because that's what he reported in his post. Like acting dumb, playing dumb, like, oh, what? What are you so upset about? Yeah, no. That's not right. Okay. I ignored her messages. I wanted to go to decide what to do. My mind was clear. Am I the a-hole for wanting to break up with her over this? I don't think that makes you an a-hole. I think that should make you question how well you know the person that you've been dating. Did it say how long they've been dating? Over a year. Okay. Like, wait, do they live together? Or is it just, yeah, our house. Okay. Okay, look at that. So that should make you question if you really know this person. This might seem like something small to an outsider, but clearly to him, like, this is a very real fear. She did not respect or listen or believe him, and those are serious things. So it's really not that she brought home a dog. The underlying issue was that he was disrespected, he was ignored, and her wants were placed as higher than his needs. Like, I'm kind of classifying this as like a need to feel safe in his own home. You know, to most people, myself included, it's just a dog. Most people like dogs, or most people aren't afraid of dogs, but that doesn't matter. So it's like me. I'm afraid of poisonous spiders, of snakes. Like, and if my partner was like, "Hey, I brought home a snake. I know you're afraid of it, but here's a snake, and we're gonna help you get over your fear." And hey, why are you upset? Why are you packing up? Hey, come back? Like, no, that you violated the safety of our home, and you seem not sorry about it. So it's one thing to reflect on and be like, "Hey, that's not cool. I was seriously afraid of dogs. I'm seriously afraid of them. You knew that. Why did you do this without talking to me first? And why did you not take me seriously?" And then for her to be like, "Oh my gosh, okay, I don't understand why you're afraid of dogs, but I am so sorry that I did not really understand or listen to you the first time you told me about how serious it was. I'm sorry that I thought that it was something easily overcome. I should have talked to you about it first. What should have happened is, obviously, the answer here is you're not the a-hole, and she should have talked to you about it first and said, like, hey, I really, 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 really love dogs, and I also really, really love you. Would you be willing to, like, try and overcome your fear of dogs so that one day we can have one together?" And maybe, like, they could go volunteer or something, or maybe that's too much because he's never even pet a dog, but, like, you can go look at a dog or really be a foot away from a dog or something. But if he says no, then that's that, and it's up to her to decide if, like, his boundary is no dogs. Like, if that's what he decides, he doesn't want to try and overcome his fear or whatever, then that boundary line is no dogs. And if it is up to her then to decide if that's a deal breaker. So, but she didn't do that. So of course he's not the a-hole. Let's see what this person says. Oh, I wanted to mention, if I didn't, I like dogs. We don't have any right now, but like, I really like dogs. I love almost all dogs. I'm not a fan of yippy yappy dogs, and I'm not a fan of dogs with like tons of drool and like dogs that shed a ton. But I still like the dog. I just wouldn't want one in my own home. But I really love dogs in general. Like, they're amazing. I think I would like one day, especially one that's hypoallergenic. But like, again, like this person said, if my husband said he was absolutely terrified of dogs, I wouldn't bring one home. Of course not. That's terrible. She disregarded your feelings and boundaries. That's what I said. It doesn't matter if they're both dog lovers. That's a very good point. They both need to decide and talk about getting any pet. OP, your girlfriend is not a partner. She doesn't seem to understand that on big decisions. Yeah. Makes sense. I agree. Okay. I want to see what the update is. Original post. Okay, first of all, he says, "First of all, I want to thank everyone for their feedback and support, and special thanks to the some poster. After reading many comments from both perspectives, I went to see my girlfriend and we talked for a bit. I told her what she did was wrong. She insisted I was overreacting. She wasn't ready to apologize. I told her I wanted to break up with her. At first, she didn't believe me and thought I was trying to hurt her, get revenge on her. Then she started crying. Oh no! Then she got angry and tried to hit me. I held her until she calmed down. What the heck, dude? That's... no. What am I supposed to do? We talked. Okay, after a while we talked again and she said, what am I supposed to do? She mentioned that she can't take care of the dog by herself. Well, you should have thought of that. So I offered to help her find a new place for the dog. I also offered that if she didn't want to move out, she could stay in my place and I would find a new place. Dang, he's being really nice. Additionally, I told her that I would cover her rent for this month. I know I didn't have to do that, any of these things, but I couldn't just leave her like that, and I don't want to see her suffer or have a hard time. She said thanks for the offer and that she would think about it. I could tell she was still in shock, so I didn't really know what to say to her. And I didn't want her to feel worse, so I decided to give her some space. For the past couple of days, I've been staying with a friend, and I had him bring some of my stuff until my ex-girlfriend decides if she wants to stay there or find a new place for herself. I decided to give her a couple of days to decide. The day after I broke up with her, my friend and I tried to find a new place for the dog. As she couldn't take care of her, she told me she took the dog to one of her friend's house, but her friend couldn't help her with finding a permanent place for the dog. Honestly, none of this is good for my mental health. Yeah, and I've taken a week off work just to solve everything. I can't leave the dog on the street, and I'm pretty sure it's illegal to do that in the UK. Anyway, we had no luck and couldn't find any place for the dog, so we decided to try again tomorrow. After me and my friend went back to his home, my ex called me. She called to ask for one more chance, and she apologized. Well, at least you finally apologized. I said I forgive you, and what's done is done, but I think it's better if we go our separate ways. She wasn't happy with it. Oh my gosh, look at this, you guys. I will just skip this conversation. She was cursing and saying I will never find someone like her, and I will die single. What the heck? Although, I'm not surprised because she tried to hit him, so no wonder she also is verbally abusive. A day later, which was yesterday, at the time of this update, my friend called me saying he got a good news. They found someone willing to take the dog. We're still waiting for that person to take her on the same day. My ex started calling me again. It was quite late, so I decided to wait for her to leave a message. But she kept calling, and I finally picked up. She asked me to forgive her again. I told her I already have, but we're simply not compatible. And I told her, you're young and beautiful, you'll find someone else. But she got even more pissed. That's basically it for now. I didn't expect the original post to go viral. I was expecting maybe 30 comments because it is okay, blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, this person says, you big time dodged a bullet. Who on earth tells a 25-year-old that they're never gonna find love again or die alone? Yeah. Why is nobody mentioning that she tried to hit him? People say stupid when they're desperate. Doesn't mean she's bad. She tried to hit him. Why did everybody forget that? Oh, interesting. Look at this. Okay, this person, the original poster, OP, said, since this question was asked a lot, I will just answer it now. Why do you fear dogs? Why do you have cynaphobia? I didn't know that was called cynaphobia, dog phobia. Oh, makes sense. I was attacked by a dog when I was a kid and almost died from it. Oh my gosh. I was hospitalized for about a month, and it took months to be able to walk normally. Also, her calling my fear ridiculous was the only thing that really hurt me since she knew about this. Oh my goodness. That just makes it so much worse. I don't know why I didn't even consider that he had like some kind of traumatic event with a dog, and that's why he has such a like serious fear. That makes complete sense. Oh my goodness. And to know that, to not be able to walk and then have to learn how to walk again. Oh my gosh, he probably has scars from it. I'm thinking about the one person I knew who was attacked by a dog when she was younger. That is horrible. And this girl just went on and did this anyway, knowing what happened to him as a child. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad that he had the self-respect and, like, the strength to break up with her. And he completely did the right thing, and hopefully she goes and gets the help that she needs. Because what she did to him in the first place is not okay. And then she tried to hit him, and then she verbally abused him repeatedly, it sounds like. And oh gosh, that's just so terrible, this poor guy. But I'm so glad for him. I'm glad that he's out of that relationship, which clearly would not have been a healthy one, and was not already was not a healthy one. Like, that stuff doesn't just happen suddenly out of nowhere, right? Not after a year. So I'm sure there were things like that, just really, really subtle things that maybe she easily explained away or gaslit or whatever. But I'm glad that he did the right thing, and hopefully he finds a partner in the near future or whenever he's ready who is supportive and understanding and listens to him and respects him, and that's that, I guess. Let's see what else. Okay, wow. Alright, let's do one more. I wonder which one. The boyfriend's proposal at her best friend's. I already know my instinctual response to this one. AITA for stopping my boyfriend's proposal at her best friend's wedding. I, female 26, my boyfriend, male 25, attended a mutual friend's wedding. I'm just going to summarize as I read, if that's okay. So if you're reading along with me, no, I'm not going to read every single word. They're very close friends to us and brought my boyfriend and I together. My boyfriend and I are coming up on our 3rd anniversary and things are pretty serious. He wants to, I very much wanted to marry him. He's sweet and chatty and considerate and empathetic. He's the person who I thought was the first to show me what a truly healthy and compassionate relationship was like. They were going to get married. The chance of proposal was more of a when, not if. A few weeks before the wedding, us and the engaged couple at the time were hanging out. The topic of weddings was very prevalent. My boyfriend had cracked a joke about proposing at our friend's wedding. The to-be groom joked back and said that'd be funny as heck. This was followed by me and the to-be bride both shutting it down, trying to be serious but also not thinking he was serious. He was. During the reception, everyone had made their speeches and people were getting their food. While our table was waiting, my boyfriend went up to the DJ, and after they played my boyfriend and I's favorite song to scream in the car together, Start My Life by One Direction. I look at him smiling and he's looking around. All of a sudden he grabs a fork, stands up and begins clanging on a glass. Immediately the whole dining room looks over. I stand up and whisper the words, "Not right now." His face drops and he yells a mix of, "I'm sorry, I was just joking." After he sat back down, I verbatim said, "Let them have their moment. Let's make this our own." He wouldn't even look at me. When it was time to get our food, he immediately goes toward the exit. I followed and tried to catch up to him. We couldn't find him. I texted him twice and called him a couple times but got no answer. So I went back to Ribs. Did he leave? Oh my gosh. I went back to the reception. After not hearing from him for an hour and a half, he returns. He sits down. He doesn't even look at me. The rest of the night is terrible. He looks like his dog just died. And I'm trying to make the best out of the night. I was prepping for a breakdown or a fight in the car, but the only thing he said was, "I don't want to talk about it right now." He sent me a long text about how hard it was to get the ring, how he felt rejected by his closest person, and that I embarrassed him. But wait, okay, so what does he say? He just grabs a fork, stands up, and begins clanging on a glass. Okay, well, alright. I tried to explain that it's not that I didn't want to marry him, it was our best friend's wedding, and they deserve the moment. That we should create our own and not piggyback off theirs. He got offended and said that if I wanted to marry him, I wouldn't have stopped his proposal in front of everybody. That's not true. That's not true, sir. The situation perplexes me. I've never seen the appeal of proposing at someone else's wedding, and tried to handle the situation in a way that I felt was calm and chill, but he's very adamant that I ruined the proposal, made him look like an a-hole, and thus I am the a-hole. Am I missing something? Should I admit I was wrong and have just let his proposal go at our friend's wedding? Absolutely was absolutely the right thing for you to do. Like, he's just butthurt. And that's fine, just let him be butthurt. I think he had good intentions. Maybe he did not realize, like, how upsetting that typically is for most people for a proposal to happen at someone else's wedding. Like, you are making it about you, and that day is not supposed to be about you. I know there's a few instances where it might be fine with those certain people, but clearly, like, they had even discussed it in jest, or maybe not so much in jest, right, beforehand, and clearly the bride to be and this girl, the OP, said not to. And I mean, he might have just been, you know, not to be stereotyping men, but like maybe not aware of the social nuances and stuff with weddings, and how it is very much perceived as you were taking attention away from the bride and the groom when it's supposed to be their day. And so, you know, I don't think he didn't have any ill intentions in doing that. Like, he probably thought it was a great idea, and because the groom to be at the time, when they discussed it at lunch or dinner, wherever they were at the time, you know, he didn't dismiss it. He was like, "Oh, that'd be hilarious, dude." He didn't realize. So, you know, he wasn't an a-hole in doing that to begin with. He just was unaware and had no ill intention, and maybe wasn't the most, you know, socially, I can't think of the word I want to say, but y'all know what I mean. So, adept, I guess, yeah. So, I think and he didn't understand that when he did feel rejected, and so fine, you can feel embarrassed, you can feel disheartened because this thing that you planned and you spent a lot of time on and a lot of effort in and put a lot of heart into did not go the way that you had hoped, and you are feeling rejected. But you know this woman, you know that she loves you and she wants to marry you, and you can feel disappointed that things didn't go how you thought they would go, but you need to think about how you doing that would have affected other people, and how your plan to do that initially was in the wrong. That was would have been a very selfish thing to do, and that she saved you from looking like an a-hole. She really did. She really, really did. I hope that he sees that eventually. Like, I get him feeling upset in the beginning because he doesn't understand. He sees it at a very superficial level. You rejected me. No, she stopped you from making a mistake and from actually looking like an a-hole. And she stopped you from doing something that would have made you an a-hole. That was a-hole behavior. So, you, original poster, OP, you are not the a-hole. Let's see what people say. It was bad taste for him to propose the wedding. Absolutely. It says, the OP said she tried to tell him that our friends, the actual hosts, weren't even that mad after he explained the situation. They just said thank you for stopping him, and no one else really said anything about it. Literally tell him to Google, can you propose at someone else's wedding? And you'll see thousands of results explaining that it's considered rude. You don't have to baby him. You've explained your side. Yeah, that's what I was wanting to say that earlier too. I just forgot. Like, she's explained it. At this point, she has explained to him her side. And if he continues to insist that she just doesn't want to marry him and that she's wrong and it would have been just a grand idea to propose to her at someone else's wedding, and that she just rejected him just to be cruel, and that she never wanted to marry him, like, no. If he continues to do that, then she needs to get out, because he's not who she hoped or thought he was. If he's going to continue treating you badly because he doesn't understand etiquette, that's on him. That's true. Not even just the etiquette, because he mentioned doing it and she said no, as did the bride. So exactly, that's why I said he was well aware she wouldn't like it. Yep. So yeah, this person has a good point. There are more red flags. They say, I'm sure there are more red flags and signs he doesn't listen to her. just being naive and, like I said, not very socially adept, or did he just want to do what he wanted to do and not listen to her and not take her wishes into account and put his own wants and like mental image of what he wanted to happen above what he knew she wanted, which is not love. It's actually the opposite of love. So yeah. This person said, I just googled how to propose at my friend's wedding, and the AI summary said proposing at a friend's wedding is generally discouraged as it can steal the spotlight. Even the bots know. Yeah. Okay. Update post. Let's go to that. This is an update post. Responded to a few comments. Okay, they texted back and forth after they got home. After he went to bed, I made my Reddit post because she felt really bad, like an a-hole. She gave them a day to think about it. They came back with clear heads. The Stonewall. Oh no, it says he stonewalls her. In fights, he would get quiet, make a small showing of secluding himself. I'd counter this by giving him space. I didn't think that he was overly trying to make me feel worse by the silent treatment back then, however. He was intentionally ignoring her. It was at first that he, pulled away from her. That's all I noticed. I've had a partner be verbally abusive me before. Okay. We met earlier today. He came over and we sat in my living room. He broke down. He vehemently apologized and said he felt like an a-hole. He said he had been reflecting all of yesterday and talking to his dad about the situation. His dad got mad at him and talked him off his ego crash. That's a really, really good word, a good phrase of describing it. His words, not mine. He had already sent a message to her friends, now flying to their honeymoon in West Europe, apologizing for making their most important day by him and for not properly celebrating them. Oh, good job. He seems really sorry. He seems to really understand why what he did was wrong, or what he almost did too, Luckily she stopped him. I asked why he neglected our conversation for months before. He said that the crew and their group of friends egged him on in private. Not to propose at the wedding, but to do it soon. He didn't originally plan on doing it at the wedding. He said the ring with them for about a month, never had any real plan, and wanted to be spontaneous. He got caught up in the atmosphere of the wedding, saw his best friend with this girl, and couldn't stop picturing us in the same scenario. His urge overran his common sense and his terms, and he made a choice he wishes he could take back. His heart was in the right place. It doesn't excuse the poop storm he put me through after. I expressed to him that ignoring me really hurt me. That him saying my rejection of his proposal was the reason for his embarrassment and shutdown was unfair. Especially since we had already established for him not to do that. He accepted this and continued to apologize, but he was very unfair from that. He should have handled his emotions and embarrassment better, especially towards me. He asked where do we go from here. She said she didn't want to return back to normal. I genuinely thought I was the she tells him about her Reddit post. I told him that if we were to move forward, he needed to seek a therapist. Oh yeah, that's what I was about to say. He needs to have someone help him work through that. Seek a therapist to help him manage his emotions, not only from this, but other signs he may have a panic disorder. Blah blah. Some more information. He's gonna find proper channels to better himself. Okay. There's more that you can read. If you want, feel free to pause the screen and read it for yourself. Sounds like they pretty much resolved that issue, and hopefully he'll be able to work through his emotions so that there's not a next time with something like this. Well, that's good. I feel like that's pretty much the best possible outcome, really. Everything that I had wanted to happen, like him recognizing that what he did was wrong and why it was wrong and how it hurt her and how he was, thinking and putting himself above everyone else, really. And, apologizing it's nice that his dad, like, you know, kind of checked him and was like, hey, you're having an ego crash here. Which is a nicer way of saying butter. I should have said ego crash. Okay. Anyway. Alright, that was interesting. Thank you for listening, and hopefully you found it relaxing and enjoyable. Give me a comment. Be the first to comment. Give me a suggestion. And in the meantime, until the next one,